Hi guys, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have an Umbrella Academy tag that I created myself. So I am very excited for Umbrella Academy Season 2 to be coming out on July 31st on Netflix. I absolutely loved Season 1 and I have watched it at least probably like 5 times all the way through, and because of my love of that, I actually had picked up the graphic novels comic bind-ups as well. And so for those, we do actually have Apocalypse Suite, Dallas, and Hotel Oblivion. I don't love these as much as the show. For people that have seen Umbrella Academy, obviously, you know it's a little bit out there. Take that times at least 10, and that's where you come into the comics. I still do appreciate what they were doing, and I have all 3 so far, but the show just took the concept of these and made it something extra, and obviously the actors helped do that as well. But because I'm just so freaking excited for Season 2, I decided I had to come up with my own tag video. I have never done one of these, and I'm actually really proud of the questions I have come up with. I have been working on this for days now, actually, trying to get it as good as I can make it. I know it's probably not perfect, but I'm just really proud of it and super excited for the Umbrella Academy. So I guess let me put these down and we will jump into the questions. So all of these questions are going to be based on the main 7 characters from the Umbrella Academy. And the first one is going to be number 1, Spaceboy, aka Luther. I'm thinking this is about the moon. Name a character that you are obsessed with, even if others might not see why. For me, I have my original Lord of the Rings books here. They are mass market, trashed up because I read them so much. I originally got these in 8th grade, and the character that I'm going to be going with is obviously not going to be one of the characters that you see a lot of discourse on, of like, who's your favorite? I think that's usually like Legolas and Aragorn. My favorite character, a character that I am obsessed with, is going to be Pippin. Peregrine Took. I, one, love the character and the actor Billy Boyd in the movies, but also in here as well. He is the youngest of the group of hobbits and is just sort of the comic relief, but also does a lot of growth throughout the series as well. I absolutely love the character. I don't think a lot of people would sit here and proclaim that. I actually named my dog Pippin after this character as well. So I've been obsessed with this character for a while. Like I said, I think the first time I read these was in 8th grade, and my dog is turning 10 this year. So it has been a while that I've loved these. I mean, obviously 8th grade was before 10 years ago, but Pippin. My dog heard that. Number 2, the Kraken, aka Diego. When he throws knives, Diego never misses. Name a book series or author where all of the books have been a hit. I'm just gonna take one down. I don't know if anybody should really be surprised with this answer, but I'm going with the Illuminae Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have talked about these multiple times on my channel. I have convinced my husband to read the first one. He gave it 5 out of 5 stars as well. He hasn't read the next 2 yet, but I absolutely fell in love with the series. The way that it's written, the fact that it's not a typical book, and instead we get like dossiers and transcriptions of video feeds and text message or IMs, that kind of stuff. I don't know. The format was amazing. The characters drew me in as well. There are twists and turns in here that I did not see coming, and I love these books. I really don't think any of them fell flat, I guess I should say, because I do feel like the second book I think is my favorite, but like they're all 5 stars. That one just ekes it out a little bit more because of some of the characters and stuff, but I absolutely love these. These are a YA sci-fi series that I feel like most people have heard of by now. But yeah, the whole novelty of just the way the story is told, but it still has great action and characters. I love this. Number 3, The Rumor, aka Allison. I heard a rumor. Name a book you haven't read yet, but you heard was great. For me, I'm going with The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin. I have been constantly hearing about how great this book is, especially within the last couple months. The hype for this has been really, really real. I think the most recent people I've heard talk about it were Tammy from Tammy Tries to Read and Allie from Read by Allie. And I had to purchase it last month, I believe it was. I really, really need to get to this one because the hype, like I said, is so great. I keep hearing how great it is, but I don't fully know what it's about. I do believe it's an adult fantasy where there is something about the weather causing an apocalypse. Something like that. I also heard it has really, really good representation for different races, different sexualities, all that kind of stuff, and I'm very much here for it. Number 4, The Seance, aka Klaus. Hey, did I ever tell you about that time I waxed my ass with chocolate pudding? Name your favorite sarcastic asshole or cinnamon roll. Now, I feel like there are a few different characters I could go with from a very specific author that I'm going to be talking about. I almost considered Jace as the sarcastic asshole and Jem as the cinnamon roll, but I'm actually going to be going with Magnus and Alec. I really, really enjoy Cassandra Clare's characters. This series, specifically the Eldest Curses ones, is also written with Wesley Chu, but the dynamic of these characters, Magnus as a warlock being basically an immortal bisexual going through life, having to deal with that, 1, having a demon as a dad, and then 2, having a sexuality that's outside of the norm for a lot of societies as he was going through time. And then also Alec, who had to grow a lot from the Mortal Instruments series and has become more sarcastic, but is still that cinnamon roll. I absolutely love these characters, and I don't know if you guys are able to tell, but Klaus is my favorite character from the Umbrella Academy. I feel like that is a very common character for people to love, but yes, undoubtedly my favorite character, and these are some of my absolute favorite characters from the Shadowhunter world. Number 5, The Boy. You know what sucks? Going through puberty. Twice. Name a book from your childhood that you would really like to reread. For me, that's going to be Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. I actually have read this book. That's part of the reread part of this question, but it was years ago. I want to say I either got through book 3 or book 4 in this series, because it is a series, and I just absolutely love Anne and Gilbert and the world that this is in. This is, I believe it's more of a middle grade, although I can also see it as young adult, especially as you get further in the books. But it's about Anne, who is an orphan who gets taken in by the Cuthberts, even though they wanted a boy orphan to help on the farm. And so she's trying to basically overcome these sort of expectations that were placed on her because she wasn't who they thought they were getting. I just really, really love this book and this series. I love the positive messages that it has, and I absolutely love it. The reason I do want to reread it is because, like I said, it's part of a series and I've only read the first 3 or 4 books, and I currently own 8 of them. There might be more, but I think those are the main ones, and so I really do want to reread it so I can continue with the series. Number 6, The Horror, aka Ben. We all know Ben died too soon. Name a book or series where you think the hype died down too quickly. And I have chosen The Kingdom by Bess Rothenberg. This is actually a book that came out middle of the year in 2019. I remember hearing quite a bit about it, like buzz, right around when this book was coming out. However, after that, I heard nothing. I don't think I've ever heard anybody actually talk about this book on their channel. I know I did last year sometime because I read it and loved it, but I think I only talked about it in my wrap-up maybe once. This is a phenomenal book. It is a YA sci-fi set in the future where there is basically a Disneyland type theme park, but one of the draws there is that they have fantasists, which are basically like the park's princesses, however they are androids. And this story starts off very quickly, so this is not a spoiler at all, but it starts off with us being told that Anna, the main fantasist that we follow in this book, has murdered somebody that worked at the park. I loved this. I do want to say I was guessing how they were going to be going with this story until the end. I had some guesses as to what I thought they were going to do. I knew what I wanted to happen. I was hooked the entire time. It was great, and I never hear anybody talk about it. So I really, really do think the hype died down way too quickly. There was so much talk about it right before it came out, and then nothing. Number 7, The White Violin, aka Vanya. Spoiler alert. Through the first season of the show and through the first volume of the comic bind-up Apocalypse Suite, Vanya discovers that she is not the weakest of the group. Name a character with a power greater than it first appears. And for that, I'm going with Eleanor from Hex 11 by Lisa K. Weber and Kelly Sue Milano. This is actually an independently published graphic novel comic bind-up series. There are 2 major volumes out right now, but they are currently working on more issues in this. This is a world that is going to be a little interesting to explain, but let me try to do this. This is a world where it is a futuristic society, but magic exists and it is sold through technology. So it's magic and technology together. I really consider it like a sci-fi and fantasy. And Eleanor is a witch in training. She's not very good at doing any of her spells. However, like I said, she has a power greater than first appears. You really do need to read this to get the full scope of it, but she ends up having power much, much greater than she can really handle, and some of the issues in here are consequences of how she has to deal with that. There's also demons and possessions of bodies. There's like back market selling of stuff. I really, really love this series. I should show you the art too, because the art is fantastic. That was part of the reason I picked it up. I actually picked it up at a Phoenix Comic-Con a few years ago and have been following the artist and author ever since. I love it. So I'm going to be encouraging other people to do this tag as well, especially leading up to the 2nd season of the Umbrella Academy. I just really wanted to share my hype for it. I am super, super excited. And I do have some people that I'm going to tag directly here and then on Twitter so they can see this, because I know they are excited for season 2. I will also leave all of their information linked down below, their channels, so you can definitely go check them out as well. So we have Kristen from Red Red Wine, Dika from Down to the Last Page, Allie from Read by Allie, Tammy from Tammy Tries to Read, Eric from Break Even Books, Lena from Sufficiently Advanced Lena, and Jessie from The Bookish Mom. I hope you guys like this video because, like I said, I put a lot of effort into it and I'm just very, very excited to share it with you. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more videos. I do have videos up Mondays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays, and I will see you then. Bye!